I'm just going to give you a taste of what I do when I visit staff. I have been all over Ontario. I've done talks in the States, and I want to show you when I do PD with teachers that have never met me before. You know me now. You know me now. People pay a lot of money to have somebody come in and give them ideas that don't work. So I try to come in and give you guys ideas that do work. So this is a graphic by Randy Glassbergen that I've taken from his site. I'm not making any money off it, so I thought I'd post it to you, and I'll probably discard it when I'm done. And this is the battle that we as the teachers in this course are kind of waging. And I'd like to think that the people that are enrolled in this course, it's a lot different than taking special ed or religion. You've taken this course at this point in time, there was no part three, so you didn't really have a chance to get a specialist, and it doesn't exist yet. So you're taking this course out of interest, which makes for the best kind of environment, that we're all here for the same thing. We're all here for interest. So I'm going to give you some strategies to help spread the interest. Okay? So my first strategy is, in order to attain true integration, there must be planning. There must be plans. Now, there are a lot of sources out there on the World Wide Web that will provide lesson plans, and I always find it interesting that people are always eager to post lesson plans, and sometimes we're over eager to take those plans because nobody knows our students the way we do. But if you don't start with a plan, you will not see change. It's impossible. You can't build a business on thoughts. You can't build a business on fantasy or high hopes. And that's essentially what you're doing. Every single time you're launching a class, you're launching a business, and you reap your profits at the end of the unit when you go through your evaluation and assessment. And did you have a failed business or did you have a successful one? No business can survive without plans. And I mentioned Christensen's book last session, Disrupting Class, and he specifically says a business that starts out with one plan and attempts to change it on the fly or veer away will fail. So it's the hardest part, and I would never tell my colleagues, I would never say to you, you've got to start planning, it's the right thing to do. That's absolutely wrong. I know I would be a hypocrite if I did that, because I would walk into my classroom and fly by the seat of my pants many a day. But if I wanted something specific, I would plan just for that thing. So I'm just suggesting, if you truly want integration, then create a plan just for that integration. Create a plan just for the technology, just for that day. Okay? And we'll talk about how often do you have to do this? How many times a week are you actually going to successfully integrate technology? So this course has given you a smattering of what I call gateway tech. Gateway technology. You know, we use that term so freely when it comes to drugs, right? We always relate marijuana to the gateway drug. Well, this is the portal to enlightenment. These tools here, all of the technology that I've given you is a great stepping stone into the rest. It does not mean that Priya, Paulette, Nicole, Lynn, Lisa, Han, Grace, that you will take all of these tools and implement them in your classroom. It's next to impossible. And if you try, you'll encounter frustration. What I am hoping is that you take no more than 1 or 2, 3 at the most, and spend the next 10 months mastering. I would not have presented any of these tools if I thought they were doomed to failure over the next few years. Okay, so I took a risk. I have tested these out, and Scribble is the newest, followed by Quickie. These are things that enable any teacher with any level of expertise, right, to integrate technology into the classroom. Now, unfortunately, Joy hears this spiel so many times in a year because she's with me at my board. The the best way to integrate technology is to give yourself a goal of 2 to 3 times a week. And I'll tell you what, 2 times a week will put you in the 90th percentile of integration of technology. How do I know this? I know this because I told you last week, we rolled out thousands of netbooks and laptops with our teachers. And it was the first time that we truly saw a direct change in the way they taught. Up to that point, there wasn't much movement. So until somebody dumps about $4.5 million into your school board, it's up to you to kind of bring everybody along. And first, bring yourself along. Bring yourself along with a simple touch on Symbaloo, a simple touch on Quickie, a simple touch on Google Docs, Scribble, Audacity. And it doesn't always have to involve the students. So Google Docs and Blogger, for example, could be your own professional attempt. The world is changing, but it's not changing so fast that you will not have the time to practice. Okay? So I strongly suggest, as I do with all teachers that I encounter, pick 2 or 3 tools, master one of them, and use it throughout the course of the year. Okay? Be that person that other people can come to and say, hey, you're the expert on the OERB. Hey, you use that movie thingy with the girl talking on Quickie. Let that be you. And rest assured, so long as you know me, you can contact me. We'll talk about that as we go. But you can always contact me for more information, right? Remember that river. Don't try and consume all the water that's flowing by. So I hope that makes sense to you. The second strategy, or the third strategy, of course, after planning and understanding which tool you want to master, is a strategy that I have introduced to my level 2s, and that is accepting failed attempts. I took this picture from a blog of a first-year teacher, and I don't know where she got it, but she does. So again, I should have cited the source, but the idea behind failed attempts is hard to accept. And just like you do when you search, when you do your Google search, actually when you do anything in life, right? There has to be some sort of acceptance of failed attempts if you are attempting to work at the speed of technology. Okay? Even major news corporations are being crushed because they are unable to abide by ethical protocol dealing with technology, right? Like Fox News Corporation, the CNN apology list every Friday. It's unbelievable because they are not consuming the information with any sense of responsibility or the critical eye. Accept your failed attempts and it'll be easier for you to move on. But also understand that there are people waiting for you to fail as well. And you get over that. I get over it. I have failed attempts because I do a lot of live presentations. I take the risk and I do searches in front of staff or in front of you that don't work. And I record them and you've seen them. I have evidence of it where I'll do an OERB search or a search on YouTube that has failed. I don't care. I don't care. I just move on. But believe you me, resistors will always hope that you show them some degree of failure so that they have a crutch to lean on. And that's fine. The resistor is the resistor. They'll never change. They always have to exist to keep us sharp as well. But for our purposes, as somebody who's leading the industry in this change, you have to be prepared to fail and then attempt again. And that's why the plan comes in. You could create a marvelous plan. I don't need to say this to anybody who's been teaching. A marvelous plan, and then you spend hours on it, and then the next day you've forgotten that there's volleyball, basketball, soccer, or hockey, or there's a fire drill, or there's a fight in the yard. Yeah, so there goes your plan. It should make no difference. Ice should flow through a teacher's veins.